Are you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to the Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you for tuning in, and welcome back to the Songwriter Show, right here on Reality Radio 101. I'm your host, Sarantos. I'm a solo music artist who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words are so important to me, and that's why I'm thrilled to host this show for you every Tuesday evening. I believe in my heart that every song is a story. Tonight's guest is Dequan Starnes, aka Q Starnes, one of the most impactful hip-hop acts to come out of Monroe, North Carolina. At the early age of 5, he was given a microphone by his grandmother, and he never looked back. By the time he hit high school, he was making a name for himself around town as a lyricist, and quickly after gained recognition.
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome to the show, Dequan. How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, man, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So I was kind of looking through your stuff, so you're a little bit of a fascinating guy. So let's start with this microphone your grandma gave you.
Oh.
What inspired her to do it? You have any idea?
I have absolutely no idea. First of all, God rest her soul, Carrie Bell Brewer, my great grandmother. She, it just started as a thing where she would have these parties over the house, like little family gatherings or just, I would say, cookouts. My family was really well known for having the best parties in the areas. And she would just, every time all the people would come over, out of all of the grandkids, and I'm nowhere near the only grandchild, it's a bunch of us.
Sure.
Literally, she would just grab a microphone and put it in my hand and make me sing songs. I would sing Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind & Fire, you name it, Tupac, whatever it was. But it was mainly Whitney Houston. She would always cut those songs on and make me sing the songs. And how she knew that I needed a microphone in my hand, I really don't know, but it's like she predestined the whole thing, and it just, here we are today.
Yeah. So tell the fans a little bit about your process coming up with stuff. Do you do lyrics? Do you do drum groove? Do you use tracks? Do you play an instrument? How do you get going with what you create?
So for me, of course, I'm just the artist. So I work with producers, you know what I mean? And I have 3 in-house producers, and to take me into my creative space, like a lot of times what I do is I just sit and think, meditate, and then it's like I hear certain records and then they just play through the records. And the first record that I start hearing a melody on, or I start hearing lyrics come to my mind really quickly without even having a pen in my hand, that's how I pick my beats. And each time I pick a beat like that, I'm able to then start to speak about a lot of the things that whatever I'm dealing with at that time. If you notice, if you go all the way back to the beginning of my music career leading up to today, I've always rapped about things that was going on in real time. That's why I'm a major fan of people like Kanye West or T.I. It's because I rap about real life things that's going on. So I fumble through the beats, and as I'm clicking through them, and the first one that starts to feed lines and lyrics to my mind, I immediately say, hey, stop it right there. Let me get this track right here. They play the track for me, and then I start to record, and I don't have to write it down. It just all flows from the heart and my mind.
Okay. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Your process, how do you decide if you're going to release something into the world? Do you have collaborators? Do you ask your producer? Do you ask friends? Like, how do you decide if what you just created is worth to be released, or if it's just going to go in the scrap heap and you're going to do something different tomorrow?
The way that I pick a record before we release it is we collectively, as a unit, as a group, we just sit down, we meet, we talk, we play the records, and we pick the records that give us the most emotion. You know, once we feel a certain emotion and a certain feeling comes over us, like, okay, this right here gives us chills. We pick the records based on that. And as we pick them, we then release them. And usually we're right, because collectively as a group, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we pick like that's our emotion-driven records. That's when you know you got a strong, powerful record. And that's why I did the record that we're going to talk about a little later in this interview, which is Youre Enough. That's a emotion-driven record, and we picked that one based on how it made us feel.
Sure.
And that's usually how we pick them, man.
That's awesome. Obviously I'm not a rapper, but I've tried. And I was watching Timberland's masterclass, and it was really cool to see his process, how he was like mimicking like the drum and all these different parts and how it kind of came together. It was very cool. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it, but it definitely was very, very enlightening.
Oh, yes. I've definitely saw it. Timberland is actually next to Dr. Dre. He's our favorite producer. So it's just funny. It's ironic that you said Timberland's name.
No, it was great. Yeah, he's a great. And
Wow.
He had like some Logic files and examples kind of thing. It was really cool. So
Right. And we're also fans of Logic, but we're more team Machine. Like we use a lot of the Machine. Of course, Pro Tools, and we just collectively do it all as a group, man, all together, and everyone share ideas, and we just look for the inspiration in what we're doing. And a lot of times, like I said earlier, I find inspiration in whatever life situations that I'm dealing with at the time. It's not always bad. Sometimes it's positive things that I ended up, talking about in my music. Because if I'm just on the up and I feel very happy about where my life is at that point, where I'm going, I'll lead to talking about that. Or if it's a downtime or depressing time, or, just dealing with life things, that's how I lead to writing songs like Youre Enough. Same thing.
okay. So I'll tell you what, you kind of told us about this song we're going to hear. Let's take a little break, listen to it, and then we'll come back and talk some more, okay?
Perfect.
Awesome. All right, everybody, check this out.
Hey, Lizzie, when you make this,
You're enough. You're enough. Many days I was feeling stressed. Long nights I was so depressed. You're enough. All the pain, it was just a test. To be alive, you already blessed. Cause you're enough. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough, yeah. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough, yeah. You're enough. Young soul, steady growing old. You try to walk the right path, but the world cold. I imagine how it feels being all alone. My advice, baby, be strong and keep pressing on. I guarantee that you'll see better days. And when they try to steer you wrong, do the right thing. I know it's hard cause you stressing over nice things. It's okay to stay fly within your price range. You feel me? Cause it ain't worth it at the end of demise. And every single breath you take is a blessing disguise. If you crying, you should keep your head up. Get strength from above and stand tough. It's a must, cause you're enough. You're enough. You're enough. Many days I was feeling stressed. Long nights I was so depressed. You're enough. All the pain, it was just a test. To be alive, you already blessed. Cause you're enough. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough, yeah. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough, yeah. You're enough. If you feeling heartbroken, sick to your stomach, I hope you really understand that it's a blessing coming. If they wanna run now, tell them keep running. Whenever life knocks you down, God is up to something, for sure. I feel your pain and I know the feeling. I used to stay up late nights staring at the ceiling. And if your spirit needs healing, find help from above. Cause depression is tough, now stand up. Cause you're enough. You're not alone. And I need you to always know, no matter what, you being alive is simply enough.
Dequan, man, that was kind of vibey, and the melodic rhythm was cool. So good job, man.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that. It means a lot, for sure.
Yeah. So are there any, you kind of mentioned a few artists, but are there any artists, dead or alive, that you'd love to be in a room with for like an hour?
Oh, wow. Well, the two that I just said, don't get me wrong. I like I said, I loved Tupac. He was my favorite. DMX was another one that I extremely loved. But it wasn't until I heard T.I. and Kanye West that I realized that I had the same talent and the gift. When I heard them two, that's when I realized I had a talent to do what they were doing, because a lot of what they were talking about, the guys that I just mentioned, they more so talked a lot about the, the things that they came from and that certain, gangster or thug lifestyle. But for me, when I heard Kanye and T.I., it was a bit different. T.I. early on in his career started to talk a little ruthless about where he came from. But as he grew and elevated, once he had grown a bit, his message then changed to where it was more adaptable to what I could speak about, because he was rapping about a lot of his real life things that was going on from that standpoint. And I came at a time where he was talking about a lot of positive stuff. So it was just perfect timing for me to do the same. And once I heard them, man, I knew right then that it would be an honor for me to stand in the room with him and Kanye West, whether it was separately or whether it was together. If they could just share a moment with me, it would mean the world. And Lil Wayne is another one for sure.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's cool. I think he was in, wasn't it Lil Wayne? I think that was on The Apprentice. I watched that. I think it was him.
Really? I didn't know that.
I think so. You know what? I think it was Lil Wayne. It was really cool. Unless I'm thinking of another show. He was on a show that I saw I was like, you see like this whole other side to him.
Right.
He was also, wasn't Lil Wayne also on The Masked Singer?
Yes, he was.
Years ago?
Yeah. Yep. That correct. Yeah, he's awesome, man. But he was my favorite rapper for a very long time as well. So, those are just a few picks that I named, but those are the ones who I listen to very heavy. You know what I mean? And of course that's all the people in my era growing up. But then as I got grown and now from a standpoint of music, J. Cole would be my ideal guy now, because he reminds me a lot of what I grew up on. So he would be another that I would be honored to stand in the room with for sure. And we're from the same place, North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. What's a typical day like for you?
Typical day for me, of course, during the day, corporate America has my life from 9 to 5. I always like to encourage people that, a lot of the rappers that we grew up on and listened to, of course, they came from the streets. So, when they're doing their thing, they have to, whether it's indulging into drug activity or whatever they're into to get them to where they are today. I like to encourage people to say, you don't have to go that route if you don't want to. I mean, of course, what comes with that lifestyle. And so for me, I work. I've always worked. I chase my dream as a recording artist, as a rapper. But again, I've always maintained a job. So corporate America has my life during the day, 9 to 5. And when I'm off, I work on all of my music stuff outside of my corporate career. And so far it's working well for me. So that's what I do day to day. Like I said, that's my day job during the day. When I'm off, I either record music or I'm doing a performance gig, or like for this particular thing, I'm doing a radio interview now. But I'm also a CEO of a management company, Destined for Greatness Management. I have a roster of people under me. I have different talent as well. So not only am I corporate 9 to 5 guy with a career, but I'm also a CEO of an entertainment company who I sign talent under myself and push their dreams to come true. So major quick shout out to Jamil Massey, James Robinson, and the group next to two twins of ours that's on the roster. They're 14-year-old singers. So I'm sure you'll hear about all these people at some point, but that's the day to day for me, man. Very simple, very simple day to day, but I have a lot of moving pieces going on. So I'm a busy guy for sure.
That's good, man. It's good to be busy.
Oh yes. That's how I stay out of any negative things or any trouble that can go on around myself.
Sure.
Keep it positive.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of negative things, what do you think are the typical mistakes people make in this kind of career?
Just forgetting who they are and where they come from. You can start having some success, and God willing, I've had some tremendous success so far. But once again, I stay grounded, and I keep my mom and my family and my friends who've known me since day one. A lot of people like mentors, because I had some friends that I had to let go because of the lifestyles and the things that they were into. But I think the worst mistake you can make is forgetting who you are and where you come from, and getting around or surrounding yourself with yes men and people who are not afraid to check you or call you out on things that you're doing that's wrong, to say, hey man, you need to straighten up and go, come back this way, or wake up. You're losing yourself. You're getting out of control. The worst mistake you can make is bringing that level of people around because they're no longer real with you and keeping you on the straight path. So that's, to me, that's the worst mistake you can make.
Yeah, well said, man. What is your favorite time period? 20s, 40s, 80s, 90s? If you could go back in time, where would you go?
It's easy. The 90s.
90s, yep.
Yeah, I was born in 1990, so that whole 10-year span from 90 to 2000 was the most amazing time of my life, especially from 95 up to 2000, because at that point I was old enough to know what was happening around me. And man, nothing like the 90s era. If I could go back, Lord Jesus, that's when gas was $1.15.
Yeah.
So, man, I'd be honored to go travel back into that time or fast forward that time until now. Jeez.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any apps on your phone that you can't live without?
Whew, probably YouTube.
YouTube, okay.
YouTube.
But everything's on YouTube, so I definitely understand that.
Right. And the Bible app also. I'm a studying guy from time to time. But I would say YouTube and probably the Apple Music app. Wow, it's interesting that you asked me that. Yep, I would say YouTube and the Apple Music app. I can't live without it.
Okay, awesome. Any advice you'd have to someone that's trying to rap and trying to make a name for themselves?
Oh, wow. Once again, it goes back to my point. Stay true to who you are. And don't listen to anybody that gives you any negative connotations or negative influence. Like, just stay positive, surround yourself with a positive team. And to team's mindset is important too. You have to surround yourself with a team that has the same passion and mindset and drive as you have, and a team that's focused on driving your mission forward. You got to surround yourself with those type of people. And when you do, just stick to what you know. And like I said earlier, if you don't have to go the negative route and indulge into anything or any illegal activity, or you can go a positive route like I did. You can get a decent enough career or job, or rather, and earn enough money to where you're financially stable, salary wise, but be able to bleed over the extra finances that you have into your career and invest in yourself, invest in your own dream, because it's only you that you're responsible for your dream. It's only you that can push your dream forward. It's up to you. So if you want something done, like my grandmother used to say, if you want something done, do it yourself.
How true is that, man? My God. We all want to pay someone $5 to market and get us to go viral, but how true is that? It's so true.
Oh yeah, it's very true. She said that before she left this world, and I didn't understand it when we was young. Me and my oldest cousin, which is one of my producers, shout out Rendell Massey, also known as Randeezy. He, this guy, like, it was just him and I first as the grandkids before everyone else came behind us. All my siblings, his siblings, and all the rest of the first cousins we have. She used to tell us that you want something done, you got to do it yourself. You want something done, you got to do it yourself. And we didn't realize what that was until we got this age and became entrepreneurs. That's when we started to see, like, you really have to be the moving force and, like, put every single cent you have into your dream and start to put the plan in action. You have to create the plan. You have to pray and stay focused and push it forward and not give up when the times get hard, or, keep a positive attitude when you get the no's. Each time you run into a no, it's up to you to keep pressing forward to seek that yes. And it's just you that has to start to make it happen. If you start to make it happen, then eventually the universe will catch up. And that's the beauty of it all. If you get to it the way that you're supposed to, do it yourself. And like I said, you have to have a team. Let's be real here. You do have to have a team. But find a team of, just a minimum team, a team of 4 or 5 people who got the same mindset. And as you guys grow, the team will turn into 5 more people, then 5 more people. I mean, and now I have a team almost about 15 to 20 people involved in what I'm doing now. But it started with just 2 people. Imagine that.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, my friend. It's been an absolute blast. I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Sam. I can't thank you enough, man. It's an honor that you supported me and showing me love and having me on here. I look forward to talking to you again, and I hope you get to meet the rest of my roster as well.
Yeah. All right, Dequan, I want to thank you, man. And to all the fans out there who listened to us tonight, thank you for spending a little time with us. I hope your own unique story gets heard around the world. My name is Sarantos. Please join me every Tuesday night to hear other amazing artists share their fascinating behind-the-scenes stories right here at the Songwriter Show on Reality Radio 101. And tonight I'm going to leave you with one of my original songs. I think it was the third song I've ever released. It's called Back and Forth. It's kind of a cool R&B vibe. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great night. I love you all.
As the story unfolds, as the darkness draws near, my heart starts feeling sorrow, and it cries out in fear. The night surrounds me, its emptiness divides me. As I look for the answers, I try hard to find the questions, but my heart won't let me think, as the pain makes me weak. Back and forth I go, never right or wrong. My mood changes so quickly, as my heart beats endlessly. Back and forth I go, never wrong or right. My mind changes so quickly, and my mood swings carelessly. Never felt this good, never felt this right. As the story goes on, so does the fight. Looking back on this day, the battle was won. Nothing left to say. I can't help but feel this way. Back and forth I go, never right or wrong. My mood changes so quickly, as my heart beats endlessly. Back and forth I go, never wrong or right, especially tonight. So back and forth I go. Back and forth I go, never right or wrong. My mood changes so quickly, as my heart beats endlessly. Back and forth I go, never wrong or right, especially tonight. So back and forth I go.
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.